Okay, here we go.
I was an undergraduate here from 1963 to 1967. It was my class, the class of 1967, that actually created the Loftsgordon Award to honor one of our favorite and highly respected professors, Donald Loftsgordon.
The Loftsgordon Award I would classify as being the most honorable thing that I've received. This award coming directly from students makes it a much more meaningful award to me.
It's not something you expect to win. It's something that I really knew little of. And then to receive the word that I'd been given this gift, and I'll call it a gift because it is, from the students, it really, it just gave me a great feeling.
I knew what we intended to do with that award. And as a result, as a faculty member, when I was given the award, I was tremendously proud and happy.
That really the main reason that it was important to me was I received it at a time when my dad was in the hospital, and he was dying, and I was able to tell him that I had just won this award for teaching. It felt so good to be able to say, "Hey, Dad," you know, it was like when I'd come home, you know, from school and say, "Look at what I did on this test."
I am constantly motivated to be a better teacher by the demands of my students. I think one of the brilliant things about Oxy, when I first came, I asked, you know, is this a party school? And they said no. I said, is it a sports school? And they said no. And I said, well, what sort of a school is this during my interview? And they said, well, this is a library school. And one of the things that I like best about Oxy students is that if you don't push them hard enough, if your material is not rigorous enough, then they will push back and they will demand it.
Everybody, I think, wants to learn. Everybody wants to engage. Everybody wants to challenge themselves. And here you have a group of students that, at this level, you don't need to tell them that education has a great value. You don't need to tell them that working hard is of great value. You don't need to tell them that enthusiasm helps them win the day. And so you have this wonderful gift of a group of young adults that want to embrace life, want to learn, and yet some of them, they will find a topic that they don't do as well in, and that's okay.
My own motivation is internal, and I guess I would say that I have my own set of standards. I pay attention to what other people think, but if I go down, I'm going down based on my best judgment. So I go with my own judgment. My approach is the same basically from class to class. I think students who've taken my classes will tell you, yeah, Newhall emphasizes identity, community, democracy, justice.
I'm still nervous every morning before I teach. I go over my notes and I wonder, okay, so the last time you taught that, I don't think it went so well. And so part of it is just general anxiety, maybe motivates me, but there's something more fundamental than that. What motivates me perhaps on from a larger perspective is that I really do care about plants. I mean, I really do care about my subject, and I think plants are incredibly important. That, and I really care about students. So, and if I can bring the two of them together, that's what I live for professionally.
The benefits of teaching would be something that society would feel. The ripple effects would happen for decades, and maybe for generations, and not to place all of that on one person, but I think the profession of teaching and good teaching that really pushes people to think beyond themselves and what they know as their own experiences or tradition, to really push them to think in terms of a broader, what's happening in the broader world, and to think in aggregate terms and to use research to inform their worldview. I think that pushing that has a much broader impact than most things that we can do in the world.
We would leave Loftsgordon's lectures just talking with each other about questions he had posed, and continuing the discussion over lunch. And when I think back, that's one of the things that that professors should be doing, and that's getting students to think more deeply and more critically about the issues they're thinking about, the issues of the day.
That's such a luxury, to be able to spend time with these young people in a setting where you're working directly with them, and you know, you're not spouting information at them, rather there's a real exchange. And I realized, okay, so that's what education here is really about, and that's the part I really love.
Wow, I couldn't have chosen a more wonderful job for me to engage with people in. So it is absolutely my perfect job, and I've never taken that for granted.